asked him about springtime. He said that he likes the great outdoors. He likes cleaning everything. Everything gets the big wash down, the power washing. He likes to dig out the camping gear and get that all organized. Zolton plays a lot of sports with his sons, and they often go for hikes and bicycle rides. Zolton's speech is from the Competent Manual, speech number 2. It's 4 to 6 minutes. So timer, just mark that. The objectives is to select an appropriate outline which allows listeners to easily follow and understand your speech. Make your message clear with supporting material directly contributing to that message. Use appropriate transitions when moving from one idea to the other, and to create a strong opening and conclusion. The title of his speech is Rhythms of Nature, and a great pleasure to introduce Zolton Todd.
Madam Chair, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. Springtime is here, and maybe it came a little bit late, but we should enjoy it. We see the trees blossoming, and we see the sunshine warming up our environment. Temperatures getting higher, and we're faced with the idea that nature moves or sashays through its cycles with ease, probably more than any other time of the year. So there's many ways of looking at anything. So today I'd like to offer a very brief look at things from the idea of rhythms and cycles. And the idea is sort of new to me. I read an article not too long ago. When I think of rhythms, I would immediately think of music. I'd think rhythm is a property of music, and that's that. Well, it turns out that rhythms are everywhere. So, where does the word come from, and what does it mean? Well, the word rhythm originates, they say it originates in Greek, but really it goes back all the way to Sanskrit. The original word is rhythm, and it means, and that's where we get our words from, such as rhythm, rhythmical, ritual, rite, and so on and so forth. So then, the meaning of the word is that any regular, recurring notion or motion is a rhythm. Any regulated cycle of recurring things of different nature constitutes a rhythm. So when we look at our surroundings, we find that that rhythms are everywhere around us. Rhythms are, our environment is filled with them. So it crossed my mind that maybe rhythm is the essential nature of our entire environment. Now, to say what an essential nature of a thing is, the essential nature of something is that which, if you remove from the thing, it stops being itself. To give you an example, the essential nature of a dog is that a dog is loyal and it barks. If you take those things away, it's not likely to be a dog. The essential nature of a bicycle is that it's a convenient mode of transportation. If it doesn't do that, it might be a stationary bike, but you get the idea, the essential nature of something. So it crossed my mind that the essential nature of everything around us is that it's all rhythmical. The next jump, and I don't know if it's warranted, but here's my next jump. Here's my big toe, big theory of everything. If something is alive, it is alive in rhythms. It sustains a rhythm. A thing is alive for as long as it sustains a rhythm. So let's look at some of these rhythms that are around us, and because there's so many of them, some of them we easily see, some of them we don't. So let's start with the planet, something small. It revolves around the sun once a year, and then we have the moon that revolves around the planet, something like 13 times a year. So there's a big rhythm. There might be bigger ones out there in the universe and the galaxies, and I'm way too unqualified to even begin thinking about them. But so there's a big rhythm. Now, our seasons and times of the year follow the rhythms of these planets moving. We're very well aware of the fact that one rhythm influences another. So the rhythm of the moon influences the way the ocean's tide comes in and goes out, and so on and so forth. Makes me think that other planets' movements influence things on our planet as well, which is a subject of astrology, something again I'm unqualified to talk about. But the idea of a closer rhythm that developed over human existence is the way we sustain ourselves through agriculture. The rhythm of agriculture ties into the seasons. There's a right way of using the rhythm. There's the wrong way of using the rhythm. There's a right way of planting something and not planting another thing. There's a right way of harvesting things, and so on it goes. Some other smaller rhythms that we never think about is, for example, sound. Although I mentioned music, but when I speak, my tone of voice or sound that I make is not really a sound. It's also a rhythm. It's a rapid alternation of sound and silence. That's where we get the idea of frequency from. An interesting thing about rhythms, as we observe them, is the entire nature, the entire planet around us works with these rhythms. One ties into another, one supports another, and then some of these things that sustain a rhythm disappear. They die. Dinosaurs, for example. There was something about their rhythm that didn't work with everything else. Brings me to my final point, which is about a society. Is society a living thing? Is our civilization, or technologically advanced civilization, is it sustaining an intelligent rhythm? Very interesting question. Over the past 100 years, we developed a dependence on fossil fuels, and so what happened is the rhythm of our society doesn't really rely on something sustainable. Everything moves around in cycles. We have developed a way of life that moves through time in a linear fashion, and at some point it'll have to change, or else it'll just stop doing its own thing. So the conclusion of what I was thinking about is that with all this rhythm and cycle and all this sense of nature that we're surrounded by, for society and ourselves, we have developed a way of life that doesn't really observe these rhythms. So for my part, I start to wonder what I can do to more tie into what I'm observing around myself, more to cooperate with my environment. Madam Chair?